In this episode of Travelogue, we are exploring the Yangtze River via a cruise ship, sailing our way through the famous Three Gorges and discover extraordinary spots off the beaten path. Get ready for some stunning views and unique experiences. Chongqing is the world's largest municipality, with a population of 30 million. Yep, that is right. Put that figure in perspective, and it's the equivalent of half the population of Britain, all living in one mega metropolis. This inland port city on the Yangtze River in southwest China is an urban giant, and the starting point of our journey today. Hey, it's Eva May, and welcome to Travelogue. I'm currently here at Chaotianmen Dock in Chongqing, which is the most important dock in the city, not only because it handles large quantities of cargo, but it also welcomes a bunch of river cruisers, as you can see here in the background. Now, I'm super excited because we get to hop onto one of these cruisers today to explore the world-famous Three Gorges. So, yeah, what's left to say other than ship ahoy, and let's get started. The Yangtze Gold, as the ship is called, is bigger than I expected. It feels like I'm checking into a hotel rather than hopping onto a river cruiser. Hello, everyone. Welcome to my crib. Walk in. So, as you can see, this is a standard room here. It's pretty cozy, very cute. I left all my luggage here already. Time to unpack a little later. Love the king-size bed, but the best part is actually this one here. The beautiful, magnificent view. As China's fourth municipality after Beijing, Shanghai, and Tianjin, Chongqing has maintained rapid economic development. The city is the leading river port, transportation hub, and commercial as well as industrial center on the upper Yangtze. And of course, a popular starting point for river cruises. I am soaking in my last impressions of this urban giant by night before we set sail tomorrow, en route for the Three Gorges. To give you an idea of where we're heading, let's take a look at the map here. Starting from Chongqing, we are going for a downstream tour to Yichang, making quite a few stops in between. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on the Yangtze River Cruise. I'm super excited about river cruises because it usually offers visitors like us itineraries that ocean-going vessels can't really reach. So let's just soak in the beauty. And I'm also really interested about how the Three Gorges differentiate each other. So yeah, let's see what cultural attractions and landscape attractions await us this time. Before we get to all the off-board attractions though, I want to familiarize myself with our cruise ship first. After all, it is a vital part of our Three Gorges experience. The Yangtze Gold, with its 216 comfy cabins and suites, offers its guests some pretty cool facilities and features, such as a swimming pool on deck. I personally love the rather simple yet elegant wooden interior the most, with all its zigzagging hallways and bright but cozy spaces. And zigzagging my way to the Grand Etage shell as the captain's welcome party is taking place soon.
Cheers.
Cheers to a sip of liquid courage, because without it, I am not sure I would have had the guts to have this dance with the captain in front of a bunch of ship's guests. Just saying. The Yangtze River Cruise also offers its guests a shopping area on board. So if you are on the lookout for souvenirs from the Three Gorges region, they got you covered. The world-famous Three Gorges are known as the most scenic section of the navigable reaches of the Yangtze River. Definitely a golden destination here in China. Carved between steep cliffs and featuring stunning flora and fauna, the Three Gorges are Chutang, Wu, and Xiling. The trio, with an overall length of 109.30 kilometers, were formed by the Yangtze carving its way through the eastern edge of the Sichuan Basin. After a day on the cruise, we have finally arrived at the first stop of our Three Gorges excursion, Baidicheng. Situated on the northern bank of the Yangtze River, 8 miles downstream from Zhong County, Baidicheng is an ancient temple located atop Baidi Mountain. So we're now at White Emperor City, which is basically also known as the City of Poems because a lot of celebrities came here during ancient times to praise this beautiful place. And right up there, it's apparently the best view to enjoy the mouth of Chutang Gorge, which is known as the Kui Gate. So let's go and see. Baidicheng, or White Emperor City, has several halls dating from the Ming and Qing dynasties, with temples that showcase a bunch of poetry inscriptions and cultural relics from that era. Numerous famous poets apparently climbed Baidicheng and traveled around Kui Gate, leaving many verses describing the beauty of the area. And we have arrived at the magnificent Kui Gate of Chutang Gorge. Now, the Chutang Gorge is the shortest with only 8 kilometers, but also narrowest of all 3 gorges. And what I'm super excited about is to show you a little magic trick. Ta-da! 10 Chinese yuan bill that has the exact same view of what we can see over here on this piece of paper printed. In the late Western Han Dynasty, around 2,000 years ago, a general named Gongsun Shu declared himself Emperor of Chengjia, a region covering a large part of southwest China. Well, the story goes that one day he saw white mist resembling a dragon rising from the well on the mountain here. So he decided to call himself the White Emperor and to name his capital White Emperor City. With the dreamy and mystic afternoon coming to an end, it is showtime at our next stop, Zhong County. Wow, guys, we are arriving in style because this is what I call a magnificent entrance. I'm super excited about this real landscape show that is about to take place, and it's on the Three Kingdoms period. Now, for those of you who aren't very familiar with China's history, let's see what awaits us behind these doors. What makes the Three Kingdoms period so fascinating and so interesting is that we look back on it as an age of great heroism and romance. Although it only lasted for 60 years during the 3rd century AD, it is regarded as a Chinese golden age. Not quite the golden age you would associate with flourishing poetry and art, but definitely an age of great adventure. The Three Kingdoms were Wei, north of the Yangtze, Shu in the southwest, and Wu in the southeast. Many heroes and great rulers emerged during this chaotic period, as the fascinating open-air show reveals. With amazing actors, a stunning stage set, special effects, and a spectacular light and sound show, it is a real treat to discover that our Yangtze River cruise includes this magical experience. Coming up next, I get to stroll through a path full of fiery red leaves, cruise around the mini version of the Three Gorges, and try some of the local delicacies. Yum! Our next stop is Wushan County, located at the western entrance to Wu Gorge. I'm simply fascinated by the beauty of Wushan. Everywhere I go, I see blankets of red leaves. The temperature here is perfect for encouraging plants to grow, and as I climb my way up the heights, I'm overwhelmed by what I'm seeing. I don't know about you guys, but the surrounding area of the second gorge here really gives me the feeling that I'm straight out of a Chinese poem, because with all the fiery red leaves and the surrounding waters of the second gorge, it really sets any kind of traveler back in time. What I find particularly interesting as well is you can see the stark contrast of the modern city with the bridge here serving as a gateway to ancient China. It's so beautiful, really. With a population of around 600,000, the town of Wushan adjoins a broad stretch of river. The Yangtze can be as much as 800 meters across here during high water season. So apparently the Three Gorges have siblings too, which are known as the mini Three Gorges as well as the small Three Gorges. Now we're going to take this little cruise ship up 31 miles, zigzagging from our way from South Wushan County up to the north. And I'm super excited to take you guys with me, so let's go and have some fun. But first, we pass under Wushan's Yangtze River Bridge. With its 460-meter span, it ranks among the top 10 longest arch bridges in the world. My personal highlight of this part of the cruise, though, is a spectacular view. I have this powerful urge to climb out of the junk and breathe in the fresh air. The mini Three Gorges are characterized by dense forests, pretty rocks, and river rapids. There are a few cheeky residents too, and a bunch of historical relics such as hanging coffins. Yep, actual coffins. We have finally arrived at the third gorge of the small Three Gorges, which is the Emerald Gorge. Now, it's got its name because of the emerald green color that you could see surrounding us here. It's probably the most charming of small Three Gorges, and it's also the longest and stretches over 12 miles. Psst, a little fun fact. This gorge is also known locally as the Fish Head Gorge because it is shaped like, well, you get the gist. So in order to explore the minion version of the Three Gorges, we've also transferred to this traditional Chinese wooden little boat. And the mini Three Gorges are only 15 kilometers long. And I've really noticed that the cliff faces here are especially deep with very lush plantation on both banks, as you can see. And of course, the red leaves sprinkling on top adds even more so to the elegance of this landscape. And as I soak in the last few sun rays before dusk hits us, I can only imagine how the numerous poets who traveled to this place must have felt. Everything here looks like it's straight out of a fairy tale. After a long day of cruising the waters, it is time to treat ourselves with some local cuisine. The most famous dish in this area is Wushan Kaoyu, or Wushan grilled fish. The original way of making this dish is to first grill a freshwater fish over charcoal, then marinate it. My tummy is looking forward to tonight's dinner with local friends, as I will be sampling some of Wushan's cuisine with them. I am always the utmost happiest when I get to use my favorite 3 words, and that is food is served. So, 陈姐，我想问一下，这个就是你们吴山烤鱼是吧？
啊，对，这个是我们巫山的传统木炭火泡椒烤鱼。这是巫山最有代表性的，因为巫山它的泡菜花椒技术很久远。大概有2000多年历史了。
哇，2000多年的历史，
对，
我都觉得很香。你们这个鱼用的是什么鱼呢？
就是我们当地的，它没有鱼腥味，肉质很细腻。
真好，我都太高兴了，待会能尝一下。哇，真的好香哎，好好吃，非常好吃。It's very very tender. And the skin is very crispy, but it has this really like Sichuan peppercorn infused flavor to it. You guys are really missing out. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna dig in. 来，我也帮助你们煎一下吧。As we fill our tummies, Chenjie tells me that the food in this area has always been quite spicy. Most dishes have a dry, spicy heat combined with pickled and fermented flavors. Now, this is great for me as I am a huge fan of everything spicy myself. And honestly, you can't call it a day any better than with a symphony of flavors on the dining table and some decent company. Coming up next, I get to visit the world's largest hydropower project, the Three Gorges Dam. Damn. Our final stop is the Three Gorges Dam that spans the Yangtze River by a dock in Yichang. So while I have been using quite a few times the elevator in the ship, I never would have thought that the ship would use an elevator itself, but it actually is possible through the Three Gorges Dam project. Now, the Three Gorges Dam project is the world's largest hydropower project, and we're about to experience it for ourselves because it's truly an engineering marvel, and it is able to lift ship up to 3,000 tons. So astonishing. When construction of the dam officially began in 1994, it was the largest engineering project in China. At the time of its completion in 2006, it was the largest dam structure in the world. So it is no surprise that the Three Gorges Dam has become a popular tourist spot. All right, so we're getting closer and closer to the actual ship lift, and yeah, I heard that it's apparently applied to the mathematical principle of Archimedes to really lift the ship with less power but with more speed. So super, super, super nervous actually what's gonna happen right now. Definitely a premiere for me. All right, so technically it's ancient technology. Archimedes' principle deployed on a huge scale. This ship lift was the final feature of the Three Gorges Dam project. It raises and lowers boats using cables, a basin, and motors. And, of course, simple gravity. Come on, guys, it's finale time. So, you can see here that there is a wall, and as the ship will sink down, the wall obviously will then rise more and more, and that is basically how we will be able to use the ship elevator. And it's just so mind-blowing to me because you have like 37 million of cubic yards of concrete. And because of the concrete that provides an additional counterweight to the water, the system stays balanced, as do high-tech safety stops.
We're sinking and moving slowly but surely and safely down, guys. And as you can see here as well as here, you can see that gravity is pulling us down too.
Together with German engineers, the China Three Gorges Corporation designed this lift with certain goals in mind: a rise in shipping capacity, an increase in passenger traffic, lower power consumption, and lower carbon emissions.
And the door has opened and the walls have been left down, so now we are able to cruise along the Yangtze River again.
It's hard to imagine that not so long ago, the crossing took 3 to 4 hours using locks, because this time we were through in only 40 minutes.
Welcome to the other side, thanks to the ship lift.
Despite the weather being a little foggy and the river a little choppy, I'm glad to be setting sail, because I simply cannot wait to explore the Three Gorges Dam by foot. Finally.
So now we've arrived at the Three Gorges Dam tourism area that consists of an exhibition hall and a lot of other things that probably would make any engineering fan's heart beat faster. So if you're a fan of engineering, trust me, I highly recommend you to pay this spot a visit.
And up, here we go. The escalators are leading me to the highest vista point in this area, and to my meet and greet with Jack Shen, our local tour guide.
你好，欢迎您来到三峡工程，来，请。
Wow, so is this the best view to see the ship locks from here?
Yeah, absolutely. So now we're standing on the observation tower. You can enjoy the bird's eye view of the project.
So this is one of the ship locks, and what about these two canals? Where do they, flow upstream and downstream?
We are looking at the double-way 5-stage ship lock. 2 canals for 2 different directions. One canal opening for ships floating upstream to Chongqing. Another canal floating go downstream to Shanghai. 5 steps. Each chamber ships can rise 22 meters taller. 5 chambers, 22 times 5, 110 meters of the water drop. 4 hours for ships to go through here.
Wow. So what's the difference then between this ship lock and the ship lock / the ship lift that we just used before?
This morning we went through the ship lift elevator opening for less than 3,000 tons of the ferry pleasure boat in 42 minutes. We climb up 110 meters from the base of the dam to dam crest here. Yeah.
What about the other ship lock then? Is it the same or?
More than 8,000 to 10,000 tons of the container ships, oil tankers can go through here.
It's massive, massive. And what about like this area where we're standing on right now?
Jack wants to take me to another spot now from where we can have a closer look at the dam. During our stroll, Jack tells me that this dam has a designed annual generation capacity of 88.2 billion kilowatt hours.
The middle section of the dam, that is a spillway. On the both sides, powerhouses, 32 units already been built, been put into operation.
That's insane. How much power / electricity does this?
700 megawatts for each. Annually can produce the power 84.7 trillion watt hour. 20 years ago can supply 10% of the power in China. 20 years later, now which accounts 2.5% for maximum.
Wow. That's totally mind-blowing to me. That's out of this world.
With the record amount of power that it generates, the dam has contributed to the maintenance and promotion of the Yangtze River economic belt and driven clean energy production.
I really must say that the Three Gorges have surprised me in many ways. Not only did it offer us a beautiful, beautiful scenery along Asia's longest river, taking us back to ancient times, but we also got to experience this truly engineering wonder of modern age by China. Now, I definitely enjoyed this trip, and I hope you guys enjoyed cruising around the gorgeous Three Gorges as well. And obviously, I had to throw in a final wordplay in here. Anyways, I'm Eva May, and I'll see you next time on Travelogue.
Three Gorges in Chongqing is the most impressive section on the Yangtze River. It combines Xilin Gorge, Ru Gorge, and Qutan Gorge, also featured on the 10 Chinese yuan note. The best way to explore is via cruise ship. Why? Because really, it's the only way unless you want to swim through the 90-kilometer-long valley. Please don't try that. Ru Gorge is my personal favorite because it has the most scenic spots and various attractions such as historic relics, eye-dazzling shows, and hills covered in red leaves. Now, there's also a smaller version. Ladies and gentlemen, the small Three Gorges. On a junk, you'll discover the highlights of this place. Aside its clear waters, subtle mountains, and sharp turns, it also has some pretty cheeky residents. Oh, hi there, buddy. And there's also a mysterious coffin placed on the cliff. Thought that was all? Nah, there's also the mini Three Gorges. Creative name, huh? Mini mountains, mini river, mini boat. But just as gorgeous as the other gorges.